Hello everyone, I'm back. Today I'll be taking a closer look at a title with a pretty catchy name in the mobile gaming community focused on One Piece, called One Piece Grand Soul Battle, or in some places, Grand Soul War. As for where to find the game, this game mainly appears on the X7 game platform, an app store that specializes in collecting APK-style games with pretty huge top-up deals. This isn't a typical app store like Google Play or the App Store, but rather a landing page that gathers a wide range of games, including many other One Piece titles being hosted alongside it, such as Fighting Path, Nico Awakening, or Azure Ocean. If you like this game, there's a high chance you'll come across it through X7 Game. To download the game, you can use my link in the description or pinned comment. After downloading the app, open the app and enter the game name One Piece Grand Soul Battle. If it shows up as Grand Soul War, you can still download it. When you download it, it will show the correct name. In the X7 Game app, there are quite a lot of gift codes and 648 yuan worth of coupons specifically for this game, so make sure to use them wisely. And if you experience lag or can't access the game, you can download a China VPN to change your IP to Hong Kong, then you'll be able to play the game, or the game will have less lag. Now let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. Basically, this is a fairly standard gacha RPG in the genre of games based on popular IPs. You'll take on the role of a captain, collect familiar characters from the One Piece world such as Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, Robin, Ace, Shanks, and build a team to participate in battles. The combat system mainly revolves around turn-based or real-time combat depending on the mode, along with PvP content, large-scale battlefields with many players at the same time, a PK system, and PvE dungeons for farming resources. Some descriptions also mention additional features such as an in-game marriage system, flying mounts, and character customization, showing the developers are also trying to add more social depth rather than focusing solely on combat. As for the story, honestly, not many people really care about the game's story, and the game's storyline is also quite vague because most players just skip it. I see that people mainly focus on flashy combat, showing off skills and effects, rather than digging deeper into the storyline. Most likely, the game will recreate famous arcs from the original series, but cut and shorten them to fit the mobile game format. So don't expect to get a complete storytelling experience like reading the manga or watching the original anime. In terms of graphics, based on what I've observed, the anime-style visuals are recreated pretty well, especially the animations when characters unleash their special skills. The lighting and effects are quite eye-catching, the kind of thing that leaves a good impression during the first few seconds. But I also have to be honest that I don't have enough data to accurately judge 100% of the graphics quality when playing on a mid-range device, because I'm playing on a high-end device. Based on my personal experience with other One Piece gacha games of the same type, there's a possibility that you may encounter lag or frame drops during large battles with many characters and effects happening at the same time. So if your device isn't very powerful, just be prepared that you may need to lower the graphics settings. As for the sound, this is the part I'm quite disappointed about because the audio isn't what I expected. Sometimes you may encounter technical issues, such as voice acting not matching the character's lip movements or the audio stuttering, so this is something you can pay attention to when experiencing the game yourself. Now let's talk about the most important part of any gacha game, which is the summoning system. This is the heart of the gameplay, where you use pulls for a chance to obtain rare characters, usually referred to as 5-star or legendary characters. As for the rate of obtaining rare characters, it's quite generous during the early stages, but I don't know about later on. In general though, in other One Piece gacha games of the same type, the drop rate for extremely rare characters is usually very low, sometimes even below 1%. And the gaming community has also complained quite a lot about pulling many times without getting the character they want. So if you're planning to invest in this gacha system, I recommend thinking carefully and setting realistic expectations. Don't assume that just because you spend money, you're guaranteed to get the strongest character. After summoning, building your characters also requires quite a lot of effort. from leveling up, upgrading skills, equipping weapons and armor, to upgrading their internal stats. This is a very familiar gameplay loop for the gacha genre. You grind missions to obtain resources, use those resources to build your characters, and then use your stronger team to farm more difficult content. This loop is both what keeps players engaged, but also a double-edged sword, as it can easily make you feel pressured to spend money so you don't fall behind other players. This is a fairly common issue across the gacha genre, not just in this particular game. Now we come to what I think is the most important part before you decide whether to experience this game. Because this is a private server-type product without an official license, there are several risks you need to be aware of. First is long-term stability. These types of servers can suddenly shut down at any time without prior notice, and if that happens, all the time and money you've invested in them could simply be lost. Second is security. When installing applications from unofficial sources, there is always a potential risk that your personal data may not be protected, as well as it would be on official app stores. Although the X7 game app has been around for quite a long time and has a fairly good reputation, with quite a lot of players using this app to play games, this is still something I think you should consider very carefully before deciding to spend money on the game. In conclusion, purely in terms of the gameplay experience, One Piece Grand Soul Battle offers fairly exciting combat, familiar character designs that are easy for One Piece fans to appreciate, and a gacha system that's engaging enough to keep players interested in the short term. But because it is essentially an unofficial product with a lack of transparency about the developer and no long-term commitment, I recommend that if you just want to try it out for fun and explore the combat and characters, that's fine. But don't invest too much money into it because the risk of losing everything is very real. If you're a hardcore fan who wants to support One Piece in a sustainable way, I still recommend prioritizing officially licensed products. That's everything I've been able to observe and analyze about this title. If you've ever tried the game, leave a comment and share your actual experience. I'd really love to hear the perspective of someone who has actually played it. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.